Hey guys, this is a very random live anything because I had an interview this morning with another channel. They wanted to talk to me, but I got a message to say that they weren't feeling too well, so I wanted to cancel. And I thought, oh, bummer. I'm all dressed up, ready to go. So, well, there we go. I'll pause that. So I'm just here. So if anyone's there and want to say hello, go for it. I was going to do that interview this morning. And so for the rest of the day, I am going to be editing and making up some content, or not making it up, putting together some content. I'm working on the Octagon Hall at the moment, so that when Jason and Cassie put out their episodes about the Octagon Hall, there's something sort of that you can look at to give you an idea of the history and the stories surrounding that place. So that's what I'm doing today. Probably after this, I will whip the crown off and go and pop on some tracky dacks and a sweater. But so here I am with nothing to do. I have invited a few people in, but Cassie says she doesn't look good, and Jason's busy with his kids, and no one else is answering me. So it's just me and my coffee, and you, if you want to talk to me. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, your time, I'll be popping out the next Sally House episode. I'm about to upload that actually, so that'll be there for you to watch tomorrow night if you want. Hey Joe. Oh, hello Bill. Hi Bill. Hey Bill, are you back home? Because I see your content and I'm like, are you on a never-ending cruise? Because it looks like fun. It looks like fun. Some of the places you went to were absolutely beautiful. I haven't got you on my friends thingy. I can't send you a link. How can I send you a link? Hey Cassie. Hey Cassie. Maisie Rose. What time is it there, Maisie? Just curious. Oh, you're home now, Bill. Terrific. So you finished with the cruising. When's your next cruise? My friend Bill goes on cruises. He's got his own, Warm Strong Adventures. He's got his own channel, but he came here to Brisbane just before I left to come to America, and he caught a cruise ship from here to, where were you going again, Bill? I've forgotten. Far away. San Francisco, I think, is where you were going. But he traveled everywhere, and I was a bit jealous, to be honest. I'm still looking at doing a cruise, Bill. I'm actually going to look that up tomorrow because they're not too expensive to go from Brisbane up to Cairns, and I would like to go to the Great Barrier Reef. So I thought I'll see how much the cruise is, and I might pop myself on in a month or so, a couple of weeks, and I think I will go up to Cairns, and I think I will learn how to scuba dive, and I reckon I'm going to go down and hopefully not bump into a shark. Oh, well, if I do bump into a shark, so long as I can pat it, yeah? That's all I'm worried about. Oh, October, cool. Yeah, Bill's lovely. I like Bill. Well, next time you come back here, Bill, we have to go out for tea again and have something nice to eat. That food we had wasn't too bad. That was all right. Oh, hey, Ellie. Hey, Ellie. Oh, everyone's popping in to say hello. Thank you. I thought I'd be here all by myself just talking, but now I can see everybody's in there. And yeah, Cassie, I want to do something. I've got the itch now, the travel bug. I'm also going to, I've got a van, right? So now I'm jealous of Jason. I wish I had something like Valcor, but I've got a van. So I've taken the very back seat out. I did that weeks ago because I don't ever carry around 9 people. So now I can carry around 6 people if I want. But I'm going to work out a way to put my chairs back as much as possible in the back. And I'm just going to take myself off in my broom broom and go for a drive down probably to Melbourne and maybe out to Ballarat because I've got family that way. Ellie, I don't think Ellie will be watching. She wouldn't know I've gone live. But I'm going to just travel. I'm just going to take 5 weeks, maybe 4 4 weeks would be enough, and just travel down from here down to Melbourne, across to Ballarat and back up again, and just stop at different interesting places. And at some point as well, I'm going to annoy my friend Heather from Come Hither with Heather, and I'm probably going to fly over to Adelaide when it suits them, not me, and have a look around there, because there's some fantastic places there, supposedly haunted and whatnot. So I'll give them a go. What else? Yeah, so that's what I've got planned. I figure life is short. You never know when you're going to get hit by a bus. So I'm going to do as much as I can. But number one is the cruise. I want to go on a little cruise, just a little one. I know I've got sea legs, so I won't get sick. So that's good. But yeah, so that's what I plan to do. Oh, hey, Sheila. But yeah. Oh, Maisie, did you tell me what time it was where you are? Poor old Maisie. She's in Scotland. Oh, well, midnight. That's not as bad as 3 a.m., is it? Yeah, I love it when Maisie comes in, but yeah, it's a horrible timing for Maisie every time. Yeah, well, you know how it is, Maisie. I don't know how old you are, but you get to a age and you think, oh my God, I didn't do anything when I was young. Like, yes, I had children, and yes, I still had adventures. I still did things that other people haven't done, and I've met many, many people that many people would like to meet. I've had adventures, but I don't know. I've got to keep going. If I sit too long, I think about other stuff, and then maybe I don't want to keep going. So I've got to keep going with the adventures. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I definitely got the travel bug, Sheila. Absolutely. So that's what I'll do. But the cheapest way possible, like at least if I go in my car, travel-wise, it's petrol, and I honestly, you can ask Jason. I don't really, despite appearances, I really don't eat all that much. So food-wise, I could probably get away with a meal a day, nothing too big, just lots of water and coffee. So I don't really need lots of money for food, just petrol. My car's great. Like, my car's not that old, so it's always serviced when it should be. So that should be all right. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, hello, handsome man. I know who that is. Hey. Yeah. Thank you for jumping in on me. But yeah, so that's my plan, and I do want to come back to America. So I don't know. I have all these plans. I need to get a job to pay for them. So that's okay. I will. But I've also, like, I'm okay. Like, there's money, but you know what I mean. I've just got to play it cool and do the right thing and save. Airfare is the biggest thing. So going back to America, I've got tons of friends. I don't have to worry about accommodation or anything like that. At least that's what they told me. They better not take it back. But no, I know that I can stay at friends' houses. So that's great. And all I would need to worry about is providing food for everybody and, petrol money for anyone who runs me around, that sort of thing. So that's my plan. What's wrong with your shape channel? Oh. Why can't you use that? Doesn't matter. You can use that one. You can use that one shape. But yeah. Yeah, Sheila, it'd be nice if dreams didn't cost that much. But look, if you're clever about it, you can do what you can at low cost. Like, I'm lucky that my children are that little bit older and basically self-sufficient now. So far as money's concerned, for having to look after 4 children, I don't have to worry about looking after 4 children monetarily, because they look after themselves. So that's good. So I just have to worry about me. And I can do that. I've always been reasonably frugal. And yes, sometimes I'm far too generous with my money, but that's okay because it makes me happy. I like to buy people stuff and give people stuff because I'm selfish and it makes me happy. So when I know I've made someone else happy, I'm super happy, and that's good. It makes my day. But yeah. Oh, okay, Sheila. She lives in Sydney. Fair enough. Yeah, it's hard because and when you think about it, you get on a plane to travel from here to US or US and back. the cheapest flights, like it cost me $3,000 return last trip to go to be with Jason and Cassie, right? So $3,000 just for the airfare. And but that did kind of include the connecting flight to get to Tulsa, but nevertheless, it was still $3,000. And you sit in this squishy, uncomfortable, horrible seat. And I think they've got a nerve charging that much, to be quite honest. If they charged less, more people would fly, and they probably end up actually making more money. That's my theory. But anyway. Oh, you're coming out here, Sheila, or is she coming to you? Because that's pretty cool. If I knew you were coming out here, I'd drive down to Sydney and have a coffee with you. But because Sydney, it's a big trip. I planned it in my trip. Actually, September seems like a pretty good time for me to think about doing that trip. It's just before it gets hot here, and so it's nice weather. What are you up to anyway, Shape? If you're still there. Shape always makes me laugh with his content. If anyone hasn't gone to the Shapes channel, even if you're not really all that interested in debunking, it's just I watch Shapes. I watch Shapes episodes because he always does some stupid sort of little animation and makes these funny little noises, and all I do is laugh. So I really enjoy his channel. And he does uncover stuff, so that's good too. I do watch it with purpose. Bloody hell. Well, I'm not flying all the way to America to see your daughter get married to have a coffee with you. But if I ever know where you are when I am in America, I could you're in there. I could have a coffee. Like, I'm happy if I'm ever over in America and anyone that talks to me here is close enough, I'll have some lunch with you or catch up and say hello and have a coffee. I'm always up for making new friends. Cassie knows that. I talk too much, but that's all good. So what are you doing, Shape? Why are you in here annoying me? That's okay. You're allowed. Oh, dear. I'm just having a look just to check if anyone said anything. I'm doing pretty good. I'm talking. I'm trying to look at the camera and be eye contact, but I'm also reading the messages. But yeah, so that's what I'm up to. Put as many seats. Yeah, true, Joe. There you go. There's Joe's comment. I'm also learning because I got told off by Jason for not putting questions up and just reading them and answering them willy-nilly. So I'm learning. But yeah, I know that's their motto. They don't really care, but it's a shame because yeah, I mean, it does obviously cost them lots of money to fly a plane, but I was on one and it was half empty. Do you know what I mean? Not the international flight, but the domestic flight within America. One of the planes was it was only half full. And I thought, if you had have maybe put on a special that day for some cheap seating, maybe it wouldn't have been empty. But anyway, Sheila, in total, I've had 6 children. So I've got my eldest son. He lives in Canberra. He's in the army, and he's got a little baby called Stephen. And then I've got a son just under Alex. So Alex is 35 and Stephen's 34, but he's no longer with me. He was taken in an accident, but he had 2 little girls, Ashlyn and Aaliyah. And then I've got 4 girls. So my girls are 23 down to just turned 18. So yeah, I had my hands full as a single mum, that's for sure. but yeah, I love my kids, and I still do. The reason I do this channel is mainly due to Stephen, my boy who passed, and I'm not going to bore everybody with that again, but that's mostly why I started the channel, because when he passed away, he had a channel and he only had 2 videos on it, so he was only just sort of starting to think about putting a channel up about what he did. And those 2 videos that he put up plus 1 extra are the only things I still have of him as an adult. And I look at them often. But I thought, if something happened to me, nobody knows what a nut job I am. So I thought I'll put when I got back from PEX, I had no intention of starting a channel as I have now. I just thought I'll put everything together in little videos about my adventures. And that way, if anything ever happens to me, my kids or grandchildren can look back on my channel and they've still got bits of me. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but that's why I started the channel. And then it's just evolved into, well, it's probably still evolving. I haven't really made up my mind what my channel is, but my channel is just a place to come and talk about stuff and be happy and positive. But thanks, Joe. Thanks, Cassie. And I've got, like, this is a great community, like Shape, Joe, Cassie, Jason, Crow. They've all given me encouragement, which is really nice. And like, I do sort of say, hey, is this all right, before I put something out? And I always get some positive feedback and say, yeah, because I I'm pretty sure I look back at some of the older ones that I put up, obviously with the intent that they weren't really going to get seen by terribly many people. But I look and I think, oh my God, I don't even think I brushed my hair that day. Like, it shows you actually how, it probably shows you where I was, because back when I first started, thankfully I met Cassie and Jason at PEX, and we became bosom buddies, and we're all pretty close now. Sort of more feels like, I don't know what Cassie would think, but it feels more like family, like not so much friends. And so thankfully for them, that experience at PEX, and PEX was great. It was fun. That experience at PEX sort of brought me back to wanting to socialize again and be a human again, and not just so much go to bed and wake up in the morning and go back to bed over night time. So for that, I'm grateful. And then it's just evolved that everyone else, like Joe and Erica and Ali, and like a whole ton of people, and everybody that is in this chat now, every time I see your names pop up, like Sheila, Maisie, Warmstrong or Bill, like, I feel makes me happy. It makes me happy that, all right, I can't be in person with you right now, but you're still there, and at least you're still listening to me whinge, if it's whinging. Yeah, Joe. Hey, Blake. It is. I know they've got one happening this year. I have asked Jamie if she wants to talk to me about it, or come on and have a chat and let people know what's happening. She may not, but I've asked her to, because I thought, I'm not going, and obviously other people aren't going because it's too short notice for some, but there's still people that would go, and it'd be great for her to sort of talk to some of them and let them know, because I had a ball. Like, and Joe will know, Joe saw me. I had a ball. There were so many people there, and people that watch and that are in, like Mike B. He's a lovely boy. Like, to me, everyone's a boy, but but yeah. So it's a good thing if you can go to it and get a ticket. But of course, you need money for hotels and stuff like that, and food. But it's worth it, especially if you've got a good group of creators that are there. And last year's PEX was just that. I certainly know Cassie can't go to the PEX that's happening this year, and I know Jason can't. And obviously, I've just got back from America. I wouldn't be going as a creator, though, but you know what I mean, like buying a ticket and going along. But if I happen to be there for any reason, like if something happens and I do end up being in Virginia City, because I have been asked to go to Virginia City in November by somebody else, my other friend, Janice Oberding, she's asked me to go there because they're having a some kind of a convention of sorts, but I just don't know, because it's so close. It's not that I couldn't, it's just that it's lots of money. So as I had a conversation with Cassie and Jason, it's kind of like what do you do? Hold on to the money and then do another wonderful trip where I can catch up with family. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Just watch this space. Anything can happen, yeah? But, I think Shape's gone. Are you still lurking, Shape? Shape had November 12th. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. I think that's the one I'm talking about. The one with, Blake's just, Blake. It's the Janice is going to be there, and there's this thing on. I think that's the one. I think I haven't looked at the dates, but yeah, I don't know. If I can go, I will. If I manage to save up money, I will. But if I go to America, I don't want to be there just for like it's a big thing, you know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what bank I can rob. And that's the other thing. I just don't know what to do. I think I'm still coming down from the trip with Cassie, and Jason. You know, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll probably settle down soon. Yeah, Maisie. I think we are all nuts. I think that's what I like about this, the people that come to these chats. I don't ever really see anything negative from anybody. It's always positive and friendly. I mean, yeah, I really can't think of a time where I looked at something and thought, oh, that's not nice. Oh, maybe I can think of one, and it wasn't my live. It was a spammy person, I think, pretending to be someone they weren't. But yeah. So anyway, that's what I've got planned. For the rest of the day, I will be doing my Octagon Hall, working on my Octagon Hall episode. I don't think Cassie and Jason are going to have their episodes out this week, so I don't think they will, but I'll still have mine ready to go just in case. And I suppose at the moment, like Cassie's working and Jason's working, so I'm the only one who's got time on my hands to sit and fart around with videos. And I've also got to go through all of the content that we got from the places we went. I've got some EVPs, I wish. I've got some recorded stuff to listen to and see if we picked anything up. I've got some videos to watch and see if anything happened there. And of course, if I find anything, I'll let Cassie and Jason know and see if it coincides, because we were all sort of filming at the same time, so that would be interesting. Sheila, it's kind of hard when you look forward to something for so long and then it even exceeds your expectations. Then it's back to reality, and reality isn't as fun. Yeah, I think for me, Sheila, it was, although I love my reality in Australia, I love my kids, I love my house, my pets, etc. It's the fact that here in Australia, I don't really go out and socialise. Like, I don't go to breweries, I don't go out to dinner. I basically get up in the morning, do my housework. I go to the shops, but I don't have friends here in Brisbane that I hang out with and have dinner with. So it was really nice for that to have happened when I was over there with Cassie, Rawn, and Jason. So that, I guess that's what I kind of missed. I remembered how good it can be to be social, which over the last few years, I think everybody's probably had the same issue with being locked away because of, you know what, things changed. But yeah, I don't know. Maisie, making your videos. Oh, Maisie, no, yes. So when I first started making my videos, I was basically, how did I do it? Oh, PowerPoint presentation, because I knew how to use PowerPoint. So I opened up PowerPoint, put all my photos in, and you can transition them and join them on PowerPoint, right? And then PowerPoint will record them and make a little video. So I think if I have a look back, you'll see that it's mainly a video with music. And I did that with the Windows has, what's it called? Chip something. Chip Champ. Microsoft Chip Champ. Chip Champ. That's what I use to put the music overlays and stuff. So I've gotten much better, and you'll see, you don't have to watch the earlier episodes, but you'll see the earlier episodes. Even when I spoke with Joe and did my 5 haunting questions with Joe, it was basically this. And I don't think I did edit it, but it was, yeah, I'm learning. And so now I kind of know how to transition nicely, so nothing just goes boom, boom. And I don't know, it's a learning process. But for the time being, I'm happy doing it the way I do it, via PowerPoint, and then onto the Chip Champ. But yeah, and then you get fussy. So I can't look at any of the older videos I did because I'd probably delete them, because now when I put something together, it's like I did with the Sally House. I put a whole episode of the Sally House like it was, but it ended up being like an hour and a half long. I thought no one is going to sit still that long. And then I had a look at it and I thought, I took Jason's advice and decided to make little ones. I deleted them. I don't know how many times I put them together and I go, no, I'm not happy with that. Delete. And that's, yeah, so you do get a bit fussy. Oh, hey, Dee. Hey, Dee. I'm just seeing if I've missed anybody. Sorry, because I've been talking. I wouldn't have the foggiest idea, Sheila, if there's any paranormal groups in Brisbane. There could be. There probably is. But I don't know. I'm spoiled. So I've investigated with Cassie and Jason now. And I'm spoiled. I don't really want to investigate with anyone else in that regard. I should, but and I probably will, but what's that old saying? Once you've had the best. So I don't know. I just think Cassie and Jason investigate the way I think it should be done. Like that's how I think. Like they're always very respectful and there's no mucking around with them if they debunk on the spot, that sort of thing. So because we've heard many things on our adventures and thought we've seen many things, but then when you stop and have a really good look, you go, oh, bugger, that was just this, or oh, bugger, that was just that. Where I have seen similar groups investigate and, oh my God, did you see that? And it's what they think, like there's no debunking. So I'm a bit fussy now. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, what else? Yeah, I don't know. Anybody else want to ask me anything? Oh, my dog. Just a thought, feedback at the moment from chat. The 12th of June is the anniversary of my son's passing. Normally on that day, I would spend it with my big boy, his big brother. I can't this year. And normally on that day, I need to keep myself occupied in happy thoughts because it's a horrible day for me. So I was thinking I might do a live on that day, which for you guys would be the 11th, but for me it'll be the 12th. But I just wondered if I do that, if anybody wants to come along to that, and just I'd be happy also because I do know there's some people in my chat that have also lost children. And I just thought it might just be a good, I'm being selfish. It'll just help me get through that day, I think. So what do you reckon? Is that a good idea to sort of put it out there, that sort of like a live, but for other people as well, if they want to talk about their losses or if they just want to talk about something happy? I don't know. It's just an idea. Let me know what you reckon. What have you done, Maisie? Oh, she's talking to someone else. Who are you talking to, Maisie? Oh, thanks, Joe. Cool. All right. Thank you, Maisie. I hope you're feeling better too, Maisie. Yeah, it's no good being crook. But yeah, so it's leading up to that day for me. And when it leads up, usually about 2 weeks before, I'm a bit of an emotional wreck. I just keep thinking about stuff and bursting into tears. So I don't really want to do that. Happy thoughts. Oh, thanks, Cassie. Oh, well, I'm trying to think. So the 11th, I don't know. Is this time, the time that I'm on now, is that time what's the time here? It's 9:30 here. I don't know. How's that time sit with everybody your end? I get very confused with, like, I know Maisie, you know, Maisie's up, so it's midnight, just after midnight for Maisie. But I don't want to keep people up and that they're not getting their sleep. Sheila, it'll be 4 years this year, and it still feels like yesterday. So I don't know why people say time heals everything. Doesn't. It really doesn't. It just makes time. The only thing time did was give me the ability to speak about Stephen without bursting into tears by just saying his name. That's the only thing it's done. Now I don't burst into tears every time I mention his name, but yeah, life still sucks. And then my heart breaks for other people too that have lost their babies. I saw the other day 4 little kiddies, 4 were killed, teenagers killed in an accident, and it just makes me feel sick. But thanks, Cheryl. I mean, I know it was nearly 4 years ago, but it still just feels like yesterday, and it always will, I think. But it doesn't matter. That's why I do what I do, because hopefully someone will come across something that's absolutely absolute, and that'll make me feel a little bit better. I kind of do. I kind of do really think that he's okay. Wherever he is, he's okay, and he's keeping an eye out on things. It's not that. It's just I miss him. He should be here for a cuddle. I shouldn't have to not be able to cuddle my baby. So it's shit. But anyway, I'll stop talking about that. So is it a good time, 6:30, do you reckon? Or should I make it a bit later? But then poor old Maisie will be up all night. But anyway, it's okay. I'll do my best. Oh, all right then, Maisie. All right, well, maybe I'll make it for, what's the time now? 9:30. I'll make it on the 11th. I'll make it for about 9:30 in the morning, because that'll be good. I'll get up, I'll have my coffee, I'll have my shower, and then I can just sit here and chat to everybody. And if Cassie comes in and says hello to me, that'll be nice too. Whoever wants to come and say hello. Yeah, Dee, that's the one I saw on the news. Hi, Simon. The one with the little kids. And that's the thing, when it's a child, although my son wasn't a child, he was 30 years old, but he's my child. So it's really hard. You can't even, it's just shit. It's just shit. So I don't know, but yeah, my heart always goes out when I know that someone's lost a child. It's funny, you can kind of adjust when it's a mum or a dad or a husband, but when it's a child or a brother, a sibling, I reckon that'd be horrible too. And I know that from my son's experience from losing Stephen. So I think when you lose a brother or a sister or a child, it's way worse than if you, it just is. Because I've lost my mum and I've lost my uncle who was like my dad. And I cried, like it was horrible, but I'm over it. Like I'm okay. Every now and then I think of them and get a bit sad, but I'm okay. I can function. But losing a child, you just don't. It's shit. Shit. Have I said that lately? Hey, Betty. Oh, well, I'm glad everybody called in and said hello. I wasn't sure if you all would, because it was a off-the-cuff thing. But, yeah, I was meant to do an interview with someone else this morning and she wasn't feeling well, so cancelled. And I thought, Crown, like, hello, I'm all dressed up. So I thought, stuff it. I'll do a quick live and see if anyone's around. But, and you all are dumpster diving in Adelaide. Do you go dumpster diving, Simon? Actually, you know what? Sometimes people really do throw out stuff that's actually okay. It's pretty bad. Yeah, subscribe to Cassie because Weeping Willow, because and the Cemetery Road as well. That's Jason, because we all went together. I don't know what you know, Simon. We all went together on a road trip and went to investigate Waverley Hills, Octagon Hall, the in Williamson. I think it's Williamson in West Virginia. There's an old hospital on College Hill that's supposedly haunted. We went there, and we went to Bobby Mackey's. So Cassie and Jason are going to do the investigation episodes, and I'm going to do the background and history episodes on the locations we went to, just to try and decipher the truth from the BS. And hopefully that'll help anyone watching the episodes to sort of know more about what it is they're looking at when they're watching the episode, because we are in the dark most of the time. So subscribe, because then you won't miss their episodes. And if I get anything, Cassie's in here, Jason's not, he's got family time. But if I get anything, I'll probably just give it to Cassie and Jason somehow so that they can put it in or whatever. Unless it's, I don't know, because I don't really put together investigation type things. But we'll see. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Betty. I do try. Well, I do now. Before I didn't care. I didn't care if I looked. I wouldn't really care if my hair wasn't brushed some days, but I do now. Now I try to get up in the morning, feel fresh and whatever. And I absolutely am starting to think more about my health, because I've just got to be healthy. I reckon, I always say this, and we'll see what happens, but I always reckon 86 is when I'll drop dead. I think that's a good age to drop dead, 86. But if I look like Cher, I'm happy to continue on. Then again, I don't have her money. Oh, hey, Rican. Oh, thanks, Sheila. Yeah, I actually, I've asked a few people, and I won't give anything away now in case they say no, but I have asked a few very well-known people if they'll come and have a chat with me, like my 5 haunting questions, but maybe it'll just be more of a chat. So I'm waiting to hear back if they will. And that'll be really cool, because some people have lots of stories to tell and don't always have what's the word? Or like, they don't always have a way to tell their stories. I'm getting the Sutro Tunnel and other historical things around Virginia City. I'm actually going to ask Taylor to come on and talk to me when I do. I don't want to give anything away. I'm going to do a Silver Queen episode and some background on the Silver Queen, and then I'm going to get Taylor to come on alive and talk through that with me, because she's just brilliant, Taylor. She's a journalist, and she's currently writing some books on different people from history, and she knows a lot about the Silver Queen and what I want to talk about, so I'm going to get her on. But that's my aim, to get some interesting stuff up for you guys. And I don't know. And it's, for me, it's a learning thing for me. It keeps me busy, it keeps me positive, and I really do love history. Like, I really do. If I go to a building, and Cassie will probably agree with this, I'll look at things like when I was at Waverly Hills, I was looking, the boy was telling us different stories about certain things that were installed at Waverly Hills and were like for their time, the first sort of things, like plugs for earphones, electric blankets, like all this sort of stuff. And I'm looking at the building at where they all plug in and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is fascinating. So I look at stuff like that and go, oh, wow. Meanwhile, there could be a ghost down the hallway going boo, and I wouldn't see it because I'm too interested in the bricks and mortar. So and who built it? Like, that's the other thing. Like, who built this stuff? Like, who were the people working on the project? Things like that really I enjoy learning about. And that's why I've done the Sally House episodes as well, because I'm hoping that you all will like what I've put together there. Yes, Taylor is lovely, Rose, Maisie. Yeah, Well, see, the problem is, Sheila, I actually want to go to some of them places. So I've spoken to Cassie about this St. Augustine lighthouse, which I have seen in other people's episodes. I would love to investigate the background of that, because I've heard all the stories when people go in, but I want to get the actual real documented stuff. Like, I'll look through the newspapers, I'll do that sort of, that's what I'm doing. That's the research I'm doing. So I'm checking newspaper stories, ancestry.com, council records, deed records. Like, I'm really trying to get to the bottom of who really was, where they were. Census records. You can go through all of that and you'll get more detailed information than if you just look at someone's random story. And I have done that with the Sally House, and I've noticed some of the stories written about the Sally House are really off. Like, really off. And I think, oh, but that's just, that year's not right and whatever. So, but the St. Augustine Lighthouse, I would love to go there. That would be awesome. Knowing the truth about the place. So therefore, maybe going in with Cassie, that'd be cool. Cassie and me, just Cassie and me. Might even leave Ron at home, Cassie. And then we can go out and party like girls. But yeah, just go to St. Augustine and know the actual factual truth behind it and investigate knowing that. That would be pretty cool. But I might, yeah, I'll start. I've got a list. I've got a list of things I want to, like a bucket list. Cassie's got a bucket list. I think St. Augustine's on Cassie's bucket list. Yes, it is, see. So yeah, I'd like to get my bucket list together of places that I've heard say are truly haunted, and maybe go and check them out. I had thought I'd like to go to the Winchester mansion, you know, the one that's got all them funny rooms and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know about if I really want to. I've heard say it's haunted, but I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There's more important places on my list than the big ones like that. But Waverley Hills, I've been there now, and I loved it. And I'm not going to say anything about that place, but I loved it. I loved the history of it. I loved the building. It was great. And yeah, so if anyone ever gets a chance even just to go and do a tour of Waverley Hills, you should, because it's really interesting. A very historical place. What else? Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, I do try. And I'm not saying that anything I put up, it's what I've researched and that's what I've found. So I'm not saying that anyone else who says something happened at a place, well, I kind of am saying it didn't happen, but I'm not, because I wasn't, for example, the Sally House, I can't say that it's all BS what those people experienced in the 90s. But what I can say is I cannot link it to any factual. No, there's nothing. There is absolutely nothing factual about someone called Sally. So that's what confuses me. And I've looked, trust me, I've archived everything. How dare you, Levy? I did ask Levy if he wanted to come and say hello, but he said he can't because he's not home. And Crow has, just by the looks of it, guys, dropped a new episode. Let me have a look. So head on over to Crow's channel when you finish here. It's not alive. I'll double check. But he's got a video. It just says it's dropped on UFOs. Cool. I like it when he does UFOs. Kansas, yes. I want to, well, I'm just reading what you've written. That's correct, Joe. There is no little girl called Sally. There never was a little girl called Sally. However, that name comes from the fact they're trying to link it to, they are trying to link it to a little girl. So the little girl they're trying to link it to is the little girl who lived there and had an imaginary friend that she called Sally, right? And later on, that dude, I'm giving too much away now, but anyway, later on, the dude that says, oh, the demon, said that he drew the picture of her and showed it to the old lady who had the imaginary friend called Sally. And the old lady goes, oh, yes, that looks just like her. And I'm like, really? Like, okay, nice. But but I sort of think to myself, that's about it. Like, and I don't even, you know me and Demons Joe, I'm sorry, I just don't. Where are you going, Cassie? Oh, tell Ron to go and cook his own dinner. Love you, Cassie. Say hey to Ron for me. Yeah, so I don't know, but that's the problem. And they have tried to link a lady called Sally who passed away a few streets away. They've tried to link tons of stuff to the Sally house that really is a huge stretch. And that's what annoys me, because people go to these places, they randomly look at the history of the place and go, ooh, and then all of a sudden that's what they're finding in the house. I've watched one episode of Watcher or BuzzFeed. I think they did it on BuzzFeed, that Ryan Bergara and Shane Madej. Yes, they do that for the clicks, etc. But when you watch their episodes, when they go ghost hunting, they actually are pretty good. They've got some decent people that do their background research, but they went to the Sally house and yeah, it's pretty clear they found nothing. All they did was spook each other. Oh, well, you know, so I can watch their episodes because although they're funny to watch and they're not trying to push anything bullshit down your throat, and they're certainly not saying, oh, it's a demon. I think really when people say it's a demon or there's a possession or whatever, honestly, my opinion, only my opinion, is that it's all just to get people to watch their videos. And then people do watch their videos and, you know. All right, Rican, I'm going to ask you, what does that mean? What is... what's that word? But yeah, no, the thing with the Sally house, with all the research I've done, is it's just people, the people that said they had the demon in the house, that moved with kids' toys around, threw their dog against the wall, blah blah blah. I'm not saying they're lying, because I can't say they're lying. Those things may have happened, but what annoys me is knowing the history of the house, and I do now. Where the F did that come from? Like, unless somebody brought something into the house that they shouldn't have, which they say down the bottom there was supposedly some, you know, whatever on the ground. I just don't it annoys me. It really, really annoys me. And that's just my opinion. Okay, it's just my opinion. I hate it when people try to say there's a demon and it threw things. And like, I've had, for example, at the Washoe Club, I went, when I was there last time, I went into the crypt and I sat there for a good 40 minutes, over a half an hour. I was just chilling out. It was quiet. It was dark. The bar was, you know, people were out in the bar. For the 40 minutes I sat there, it was really relaxing. Didn't hear anything, but there was a few stones and things that fell while I was there, because that is a stone wall. And all it would take is, and there's mice there, all right? There are mice and rats there. All it would take is a little animal to run across the top and knock off a little bit of whatever. And I was sitting there and it did, like a couple of times some stones dropped. Now, if I wanted to make content, I could, and I didn't film myself in there, but if I wanted to, I could have filmed that and gone, oh my God, a ghost or a spirit threw a rock at me. And I see that so many times and it just pisses me off. Look at where you're sitting. You're sitting up against a friggin' old stone wall. It doesn't take a genius to work out that every now and then something's going to fall, especially if the mice are running around up there too, because they're good at that. Now, if a stone flew across the room and hit me in the head and hurt me, different. But just falling to the floor, no. That's my point of view. So, And there's no one in here to argue with me. And demons do make money, see. Yeah. Now I know what you mean, Regan. Yeah. And look, that I mean, energy is energy, and I have heard say that can occur. But I think if you stop feeding it, so to speak, it would go away as well, like a stray cat. But yeah, but I hope once you watch all the episodes I put together of the Sally House, that if anybody ever does get there to investigate again, you'd be investigating a different way for sure. Because I know I'd be happy to stay in the house for a week by myself. I wouldn't be scared at all. And I'm still contemplating that. I actually talked about that yesterday. I could go to Kansas. There's lots of things to see in Kansas, and I could go there. I mean, I don't know, probably be a bit boring by myself, but I could do it. I'd like to. No, I don't want an argument. I don't want to argue with you, Joe, as I've affectionately come to call you, Debbie Downer. No, I mean, I've never had, I just think if something is thrown, it's thrown. If something drops, it drops. So if something is thrown at you and it hits you and it hurts you, then what the hell? But if something just drops near you, it's just dropped. Like, and especially in some of these old places as well, because there are mice and rats. I mean, there are. And mice and rats, I've had pet rats. They're pretty clever. They can knock things off when you're sitting there. So I'm very skeptical. Yeah, let's see what Joe's saying. And I agree with it. There's a location that I've been to, and Hannah alone. Yeah. And that's what I mean. When you know the truth behind things, I don't know. Rican, that's a very deep question. To say I believe in angels would be to say I believe in the devil, would be to say I believe in God. And that's a deep, deep question, because I believe in energy, and because of my personal experience with my son, which I'll talk about one day, I think Joe knows it, but because of something that happened, I do believe that there's maybe an energy force out there where maybe something creation-wise or energy-wise can keep a watchful eye over you, and etc., like an angel. But do I believe in the biblical sense of an angel? No. But do I believe in an energy that there's someone kind and good looking after you and looking out for you that may be in some way connected to your energy? Yes. And would you call them then an angel? I suppose so. But I also believe in fairies. So I don't know. It's a deep and meaningful question, and you've got to, and I've got my personal beliefs, and I believe in creation. I believe something out there is greater than us, but I don't want to really talk about religion because I could upset people, and I don't want to, but I believe in good, and I believe in something, but I don't know if I believe in like Archangel Michael and all that sort of thing, because that was in a storybook. Some of it could be based, I don't know. Who knows? It could be aliens. I don't know. So I don't know. Yeah, there's lots of beliefs, and everybody is entitled to the belief, because at the end of the day, whatever you believe in, if that gets you through your day and keeps you happy and content, then believe in it, because in some way, shape or form, it's absolutely possible. That's, Oh, fairies. Okay. All right. So my belief in fairies is probably more, Joe, what's the word? Oh, God, what do you call them? The things of the earth. They've got a name. In Ireland, in Ireland, they believe in the little people, like the fairy folk, and they've got a name for them. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, Joe might remember what I'm talking about. And in Ireland, it's considered very bad luck to build anywhere, anything, roads, houses, whatever, in areas where they believe the little folk live. And the little folk are said to be fairies. And I've read different things on them and all that sort of thing. And I've spoken to a few people that have been to Ireland and looked for them. And I don't think anyone's truly ever seen one. But the belief is so strong with the Irish people that they literally build roads, go out of their way. They won't build on the areas because it's said to be bad luck. So if you build on an area where the fairy folk live and you displace them, you will be cursed. And there's certain things I don't know. And besides, I want to believe in fairy folk because who's to say? Like Bigfoot. I don't really think Bigfoot exists, but he might, but I don't think so. But you can't, I don't know. It's kind of like they're from another elementals. That's it. Thank you, Joe. I believe in elementals because I believe, I just believe there's things in nature that exist that we may not always see. But when you look at nature and when you're out in nature, and I don't know, I'm a nut job, Regan. The Fae. Thank you, Maisie. Thank you, the Fae. I do. And I just do. I don't know why I do. Nut job. Yeah, so that's another place I want to go to. I've done my DNA, and my DNA shows me as being half Irish, and at some point Scotland, a Scottish person and an Irish person got together and made my wine. So I'm basically Irish and Scottish with a little bit of English thrown in. So I'd love to go to Ireland and go to some of those places and just sit for a little while. I don't know, just with nature. I love animals. I love nature. I don't know. Let's see. I would like to, and I'll tell you why I would like to do that, Sheila. Sheila's just saying that she would like me to do a video on the Vasilla house, the axe murders. I would like to, and the reason being is I do believe at some point Jason wants to go there. Now, I won't be able to get to go there, but Jason will. And I would like to do something on that and investigate that further using the resources I have now. So I'd be able to delve a little bit deeper into newspaper articles and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I would like to. And then put something together. And then when Jason goes there, because again, that's probably another place. There could definitely be someone nasty there, but I would tend to err more on the side of the fact that, all right, here, let me explain this better. When my son died, where he died, I went to visit the place where he died. And I was very aware that sometimes it's said that the reason they think that certain places are haunted is because it's a place of trauma to the spirit, and the spirit remains there for whatever reason due to that trauma. So when I went to visit where my son passed, I purposely stayed there for a little while and talked out loudly and said, "You're not staying here, mate. You come with Mum. You come with me now. You get in the car, you're coming with me." And I stayed there for a little while, and I think he listened to his mother. So I think and the reason I'm saying that is in a place like that house where all those little children, like that was horrific. That was an absolutely disgusting, horrific event that took place. So maybe nobody went in there and told anybody to go and leave. You don't have to stay. I don't know. But I sort of think it would probably be more so the souls of those children and the murdered ones more than the person who did it, because the person who did it got away with it. and he escaped, unless for some karma reason, as part of his punishment, once he went over, he got told he had to go back there forever and haunt the place. But that doesn't make sense to me. So I kind of go with what would be logic in life. And I think logically in life, probably the souls of the people that were killed there are still there. Maybe. I hope not, but maybe. So I tend to go more with learning more about those individuals and what their lives were, and which not what really many people have talked about. No one's really spoken about they give you a glance into the lives of the people that were murdered, but that's what I'd like to dig into a little bit more and tell you their story, the people that were killed. So that's a good idea, Sheila. I think I might. That's another, and then I can give that, like, do that and say to Jason, go there and see what you reckon. I don't know, or anyone. Oh, yes, Rican. That show used to be my son's favourite show, and I love that. Yeah, I love Supernatural. I love that show. It's a good laugh. What's good, Joe? Much rather something demonic and investigate a location as child. Ew. See, again, I know Joe believes in demons. I don't know what you classify a demon. Maybe it's like an elemental. I don't know. But maybe demons are just really bad people, really bad mojo, really bad energy that still want to be really bad when they're dead. I don't know. Yeah, and that's why Joe just said that to think that a spirit of a child would still be earthbound bothers him. It bothers me as well, but it doesn't. That's why I think maybe, and I've seen some people do it. I've seen some people go into places and they think there could be a child there, and they'll say, look, you don't have to be here anymore. You go, like, leave. But I do note that a lot of these places you go into now to investigate will purposely say, don't you dare cleanse the place. Don't you dare tell a spirit to leave or whatever. And I think, okay, I won't. But, okay, let's just keep them trapped here then. I don't know, but I guess that's what makes them their money. Maisie, we have fairy circles in the garden. They are mushrooms growing in a ring. We don't touch them, even if they appear in the middle of the lawn. I know, Maisie, I'm the same, because you don't want to interfere with them having their little meetings at night. When my kids were growing up, I've still got a fairy garden. I make a fairy garden, so it's got a pond, it's got furniture. I know there's no fairies out in my garden, but I make one, right? So to have my kids believe and have something fantastical, I would write, it was painstaking, but I'd write tiny little notes. So when my kids were feeling a bit sad, I'd write a tiny little note and put it in a tiny little envelope, and we'd have to get a magnifying glass to read it. But the fairies would write my children notes to tell them, cheer up, or whatever. And you can't see us because, you just can't. So I used to do things like that. I'm a nut. I told you, I'm a nut. What's Joe got to say? How do we know that, Joe? I'm not going to get into that argument. I love you to pieces, but how do we know that a human spirit can lift anything 2 to 3 pounds? When was the last time you had a conversation with a human spirit and said, could you lift 2 pounds for me? How much further can you? That's a funny comment. I love you, Joe, but that's a funny comment. Some of trauma. Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Like, because it's trauma based, and that's like yes, it makes sense, and that's why, like I said, when I went to where my son was killed, that I spoke out loudly and just in case made sure that he didn't stay there. And I feel that he's not there because I think he needed to hear his mum say, I'm here, mate. Come on, mummy's looking after you. That's what makes me feel better anyway. But I don't know. I understand what you're saying, Joe, but I don't know how you know that. Nobody knows that. If we knew that, then there'd be proof of human spirits. We're guessing. I don't know. Like, I do know that a couple of odd things happened to me after my son died, and like picture frames got knocked over and different weird things happened. But it only happened for a short time after he passed. Then it started to stop. It was very soon after his passing that those strange things happened. I know. And that's what is missing in this world. Magic. Like, sometimes having, like, I really hated it when my kids started to not believe in Santa Claus anymore. So they said to me, Mummy, Santa's not real. All the kids at school said so. And I said, I said, I understand what the children are saying. I said, but probably what's happened to them is they've lost their imagination. I said, that's a horrible thing that happens when you get older. Your imagination, you lose it. And then once your imagination's gone, Father Christmas doesn't come anymore because you don't believe. Oh, sorry, I just got a message from Taylor Hamby. So that's how I explain everything. Like, so long as your imagination is there, anything's possible, be it real or not real. But for kids, it's important for them not to grow up too quickly. The world's shitty enough when you're an adult. You don't need to make it shitty for a kid. Let them believe in whatever they can believe in for as long as they can. And that's why I would do things like that, little notes from fairies, the Easter Bunny, would always leave a big, drawing or just stuff, and that's why at Christmas time I decorate the house with all the lights and fairy things. I've built a fairy garden for my grandchildren, and just, imagination's nice. Maisie, he is real. I believe in Santa because I haven't lost my imagination. I just don't have a chimney for Santa to come down, so Santa doesn't visit me. I'm too old. Yeah, they do, Joe. Like, I'm a big kid and I'm old. I'm a big kid. And when I feel really sad or whatever, I watch I watch A Miracle on 34th Street, the original, and with Natalie Wood, when Natalie, like the black and white one, I watch that. I just delve in. I watch Bewitched. I watch I Dream of Jeannie, and I just float away and let myself just believe that that's, it's real. It is an amazing movie. I like it, Reckon. I like it because it gives you that, like, Santa's not real, blah, blah, blah. And at the end they say, well, he could be. And then he leaves his walking stick. Oh, my dog's escaped. Little shit. But yeah, so it's fun. God, I can't believe I've been talking for over an hour by myself to the chat. It's not as hard as I thought it was. Yes, The Bells of St. Mary's with Bing Crosby. And that's when I grew up, I know everybody in this chat's probably had a traumatic, so I'm not the only one, but had a traumatic childhood. But I did. So what I would do when television here went to being overnight, which was when I was about 13, I would get up late at night and turn the television on really low, sit right in front of it, and I would watch Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Fred Astaire, Errol Flynn, all those old movies of like pirates and dancing and singing and stuff, and that was my escapism, and I just love them still to this day because you can turn them on and just pay attention and float away from your troubles, and I just love it. I love all of those old movies. I actually saw something yesterday. Bing Crosby's grandson in some random TikTok thing stopped and sang a song with some, the guys, what do you call them, buskers. And I thought, and he said my grandpa was Bing Crosby. And I thought, ooh, and you're going to sing? And yeah, he doesn't sing like his grandpa. I think we do, Regan. I think we do. Oh, that's all right. Oh my God. Sorry, that is my, oh goodness, blong, blong, blong. It's my child from school saying, I've got a package coming, answer the door. But I think the door's been answered, so it's all good. Yeah, I just love old movies, and I love old TV shows. I don't know. I know life wasn't really what it is depicted to be in those old shows. Like, it's all a little bit of fantasy as well. But I don't know. If I had a time machine and could go back in time to a particular period and stay for a while, I'd probably pick the mid-50s, after the war, before the 60s. I think that's what I pick, because they wore such pretty dresses. And the ladies always did their makeup and looked pretty. But anyway. Well, guys, Maisie, I know it must be like close to 1 o'clock in the morning there for you, so I'm sorry about that. And I suppose I should go and do some housework. I filled in time, so that's all right. As I said, I was due to do someone wanted to interview me on their channel, but they got sick and couldn't do it, so that's cool. Oh, Alfred Hitchcock, yes, Cheryl, all of those. Rear Window is probably my favourite, and Birds, the one about the birds. I really love those two. Anything with oh God, I've gone blank. He was in Rear Window. I've just gone blank. But there's a movie called Harvey about a 6-foot rabbit. Why can't I remember his name? Someone tell me his name. The actor that was in Rear Window. Some Like It Hot. Yes, Maisie. I love that. I love that. Marilyn Monroe. That's a funny movie. That's a good movie. I like that movie. Yeah, all those old movies. I just love them. As a matter of fact, now I feel like going to watch one, but I've got housework to do. If anyone wants to come over here and do my housework, but nobody will, because I've got to do it. My dogs are about to go mental because there's a delivery van just come to my front door. My children will get the delivery, but now you're going to hear crazy. There we go. Let's see. Yep, it's all right. The children are handling it. Jimmy Stewart, thank you. Yeah, Jimmy Stewart. Here's someone I would have loved to have met. Jimmy. Excuse the dogs. I'm sorry. It's a delivery man. Oh, the delivery person is saying how gorgeous the dogs are. One's just a shit. I'll just let him bark for a minute. All right, there we go. The noise has ceased, I think. Yeah. I can't miss it when someone comes to my door. That's what happens every time. And now the cockatoo is also alerting me to the fact that there's a lot going on. Well, guys, I guess I'll end the live stream. No, Harvey makes me cry every time when he walks away and you realise Harvey was real, not pretend. He was real. But yeah, I'll go because I've got to go and attend to that, and I've got to also do my housework. And then this afternoon, I'm treating myself to a massage because I've got a very stiff neck, so I'm going to get a massage. I figure I'll just go and get a massage. So I'm going to treat myself today, and then I've also got to finish the Octagon thing, and I've got to upload the Sally episode. So I'm pretty sure I'll put it on. You'll see when it's due. Wednesday, your time. Thursday morning, my time. I've always got to remember. Unless you're in Australia, and in which case it goes up Thursday morning. But yeah. Hey, thanks, Steph, for popping in. And Maisie, thank you. And Rican and Cheryl and everybody, because I'm going to miss someone. Everybody. And thanks, Joe, for popping in. Even if we do argue nicely. But yeah, so I'm going to probably do another live after the Sally episode again, like I did last week. I'm just trying to decide what day's better for everybody. If I do it on a Monday, my time, then everybody in Australia can't join in because they're at work. If I do it Sunday morning my time, it's Saturday night in America. So I get confused as when I should do things, but I'll try and work it so people can pop in if they can and have a chat about the episode. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the last word isn't 6. But yeah. Yes, Sheila, I have seen Phenomenon with John Travolta, and that's a nice movie too. That's a really weird movie. And thank you, Maisie. Hey, and Maisie, if I ever get to Scotland, you and I need to talk, because I'll come and visit you. We'll hang out at a reasonable hour. Yeah, and I do plan to get there at some point, because I want to go to Edinburgh and those catacombs or whatever the hell under the bridge. You know what I'm talking about, Maisie. And I want to go to the Highlands and possibly see a Scottish man in a kilt, because that'd be really good. I mean, every now and then Jason posts a picture of himself in a kilt, but he's not Scottish, so that's not the same. But I would. All right, guys, I'm going to go, and thank you so much for keeping me company. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Regan. Thank you, Maisie, Raquel. Cassie's gone, and I'm pretty sure the shape has come and gone, and Joe's probably still there. So bye-bye, Joe. Love you lots. I'll talk to you later. And that's that. And so I'm off, and I'm going to go and get my massage. That's all. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.